on this glorious day. My name is Janet Allen, and I will be your MC for today's ceremony. I am the school psychologist and educator at Mira Costa High School here in Manhattan Beach Unified School District. I serve as an educational psychologist here in Manhattan Beach and as the faculty advisor for the Mira Costa Black Scholars Union for the past 13 years. It is a pleasure to be with you all today. June 19th, 1865 marks a historical day in the United States. It is established as the national holiday Juneteenth. This important day commemorates the final emancipation of slaves in the United States, marking a pivotal milestone in our direction and national history. Juneteenth offers us a moment to reflect on the significance of the abolition of slavery and its lasting impact. As we begin today's ceremony, I would like to recognize from the city of Manhattan Beach, Mayor Joe Franklin, Mayor Pro Tem Amy Thomas Holworth, Council Member David Lesser, Council Member Richard Montgomery, Council Member Steve Napolitano, City Treasurer Tim Lilligren, City Manager Bruce Moe, Manhattan Beach District Superintendent Dr. John Bowes. As many of you know, this journey began 1 year ago with civic engagement and countless hours of planning with the City of Manhattan Beach Parks and Recs Department. Thank you to our Parks and Recreation Director, Mark Lehman, Carrie Bell, Senior Recreation Supervisor, Melissa McCullum, Senior Recreation Manager, Alexandra Latranya, Communication and Civic Engagement Manager, Dr. Anthony Lee, retired professor of African American Studies at UCLA, South Coast Interfaith Council, and Tanya Taylor, Black and Mayberry. We offer a special thank you to the students of Mira Costa High School, Black Scholars Union, for their leadership, support, civic engagement, and positive influence upon today's celebration. Our students include DONNÉ Ward, Dora Tuitapau, Lelea Tuitapau, Ryan Kim, Skylar Wills, Raven Melvin, Septus Peters, Michaela Navarrete, Catherine Glavin, Malachi Garbeau, Lauren Ward, Keenan Ward, Vasey Polini, Carter Allen, Dylan Allen, and Rishon Bakhta. It has been an honor to work with all of you. We are so proud of you. Now for the ceremony we have all eagerly anticipated today. Let us begin and give a warm applause as she comes to the microphone. Miss Angel Hart, accomplished singer, songwriter, vocal coach, producer, and actress, singing the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Till earth and heaven ring,
Thank you. Thank you, Angel Hart. Our next speaker is none other than our City of Manhattan Beach Mayor, Joe Franklin.
Well, good morning. Yeah, I think there's a big difference in height between you and I. And you sing a lot better than I do as well. If I may be allowed, I would like to make one more acknowledgement today. Former Mayor Mitch Ward is here, and I would love for him to stand up right over there. Without Mayor Ward's efforts decades ago to transform this park and to start on the journey of not revising the history, but bringing the history forth about this area, Bruce's Beach, we wouldn't have that without the efforts of Mitch Ward. So as Mayor of Manhattan Beach, I want to welcome you to our Juneteenth commemoration. Juneteenth, as we've heard, is a day of profound significance in the history of the United States. On this date in 1865, in Galveston, Texas, slaves in Galveston, Texas learned that they were free. A mere 87 years earlier, our new nation declared to our oppressors, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." Abraham Lincoln believed so strongly in these founding principles of our still young nation that he led our new country into war in 1861 over those beliefs. On what is now known as Freedom's Eve, enslaved and free African Americans gathered in churches and private homes all across the country, awaiting the rumored news that the Emancipation Proclamation had taken effect. The next day, January 1st, 1863, Abraham Lincoln delivered his Emancipation Proclamation, announcing that all persons held as slaves are, and henceforward, shall be free. Union soldiers, many of whom were black, marched onto plantations and cities across the South, reading small copies of Lincoln's proclamation, spreading the news of freedom in the Confederate States. Lincoln knew that although widely proclaimed and deeply sought, freedom and equality for all were not fully achieved for Black Americans. His proclamation did not end the war, as there would be 2 more years of bitter and intense fighting to come. However, the proclamation had a profound impact on the war's course. It galvanized the Union soldiers, becoming a war not just for the preservation of the Union, but for the long-promised freedom for all. The proclamation provided a moral imperative for the Union and inspired thousands of black men to take up arms in the cause of freedom. Among the over 2 million Union soldiers stood 180,000 black soldiers who enlisted in the Union Army and Navy despite facing discrimination and prejudice. These soldiers endured not only the perils of war, but also the fear of harsh and continued slavery and oppression if the Union lost. Black Union soldiers fought with courage and determination, proving themselves on the battlefield time and time again, demonstrating exceptional courage, discipline, and valor. They changed perceptions among both military leaders and the broader public, leading to greater recognition and respect for their contributions to the Union's cause. Of the 360,000 Union Army deaths in the Civil War, 40,000 were black soldiers. So let's let our Juneteenth celebration not only honor the vision establishing our country and Abraham Lincoln's steadfast principles, but also the memory of those who gave the last full measure of devotion by serving the Union cause of freedom for all. Let us recognize their enduring legacy in the fight for the unity of our country and equality for all its citizens. And let us recommit ourselves to the work that lies ahead. And let us ensure that our nation's revered principle of equality is fully realized for everyone, so that it will be treasured and endured for generations to come. Thank you very much.
And now, Dr. Isla Garraway, urologist at UCLA and the Greater Los Angeles Medical Center, and research scientist at Johnson Comprehensive Cancer Center, speaking on the history, meaning, and significance of Juneteenth. Dr. Garraway.
Thank you, and good morning, Manhattan Beach. I have been a resident here for over 30 years, and it's really an honor and pleasure to speak to you today. We can't forget Dr. Anthony Lee, who was supposed to be here as your speaker, and unfortunately he's ill, but I'm sure on the fast road to recovery. So to my friends, neighbors, and families and guests who are gathered here today, welcome. And to Mayor Franklin and our city council representatives and other community leaders, thank you. Today you have supported a deeply symbolic initiative to commemorate the solemn occasion of Juneteenth at this poignant location near Bruce's Beach. Juneteenth, as you've heard, marks the day in 1865 when the enslaved black people of Texas, the westernmost Confederate state at the time, were finally free. This day came 2 years and 5 months after Abraham Lincoln first enacted the Emancipation Proclamation, which aspired to end the abhorrent practice of forcing African people from their homeland and into bondage in perpetuity, using their talents and strengths to build this great nation. Juneteenth is symbolic of the end of slavery as an American institution and the beginning of the possibility that we could actually achieve liberty and justice for all. The actions accomplished on Juneteenth represent a critical chapter in the American story that make the American dream possible, because Juneteenth represents the indefatigable spirit of America, seeking freedom, opportunity, and self-determination. And this is why Juneteenth is such an important commemoration for all Americans, not just those descended from slaves. Although the path was not straight to achieve equal rights and protection under the law for Black Americans, as June 19th, 1865 stretches further back in our history, there are clear signs that our future is destined to be more creative, more productive, and more powerful when dignity and opportunity are accessible to us all. Thank you. Now let us not forget that Bruce's Beach is also symbolic of the American dream. Having the privilege of serving on the city's Bruce's Beach Task Force and History Advisory Board, we learned the legendary sentiments of Willa Bruce, the groundbreaking Black entrepreneur who presided over her beloved resort here, that all are welcome. The history of Bruce's Beach, now commemorated by plaques both at this park and at the site along the Strand, like Juneteenth, is bittersweet because it reminds us of the brutal days of racial violence, but also of how far we have come since then. It motivates us to continue making progress on our nation's values and ideals. So let's enjoy this beautiful day as a community united on the 19th of June, 2024, here at Bruce's Beach. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Garraway. Our next speaker will be Gina Young, descendant of Elizabeth Patterson, a former Bruce's Beach property owner. And now, Gina. Here.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, honorable officials, distinguished guests, and dear community members. On this day, Juneteenth, and my ancestor, Elizabeth Patterson, who over 100 years ago owned property at Bruce Beach. Right over there at that tree was her house. This day symbolizes freedom, resilience, and our ongoing fight for justice. Let us celebrate our rich heritage, remember our past, and strive for a future where equality truly prevails for all. As we gather to commemorate a significant chapter in the history of Manhattan Beach, a history that is both painful and empowering, and I stand before you as my heart is filled with gratitude, and I hope as we reflect on the past and look towards a future rooted in justice and unity. Bruce Beach is more than a beautiful coastal landmark. It is a testament to resilience, courage, and the relentless pursuit of equality. In the early 20th century, my ancestor envisioned this place as a haven for Black families during a time when racial segregation cast long shadows across the nation. This act not only stripped my family of their rightful land, but also struck a blow to the ideals and freedom and fairness. However, today as we stand on this ground, we do so not in the spirit of bitterness, but in the spirit of restoration and progress. It is essential for us to remember that understanding our history is crucial for foregoing a better future. The story of Bruce Beach is a poignant reminder of the systematic injustice that African Americans have faced and continue to face in this country. But it is also a story of enduring hope and the power of community. By honoring the legacy of my ancestors and acknowledging the truth of our history, we pave the way for a more inclusive society. As we move forward, let's honor this day of Juneteenth, serve as a reminder of the strengths that lie within unity and the progress that can be achieved when we confront our past in honesty and compassion. Let it inspire us to continue the work of building bridges, fostering understanding, and standing up against injustice in all its form. We have the power to transform the legacy of Bruce Beach into a beacon of hope and resilience. Together, let us commit to preserving this history, educating future generations, and ensuring the ideas of justice, equality, and community thrive in Manhattan Beach and beyond. Thank you, and happy Juneteenth.
Thank you, Gina Young. We all needed those words. Thank you. And now it is with great delight that I present our next speaker, DONNÉ Ward, President of the Mira Costa Black Scholars Union. He will present what Juneteenth means to me. And now, DONNÉ Ward.
Good morning, everyone. How's everybody feeling today? I'm here to give a message about what Juneteenth really means to me. So literally, Juneteenth is the emancipation of slaves. But to me, it means more than that. It's the benchmark for our beginning here in America. Growing up, I didn't really have a sense of what Black pride was. But one summer, my father told my siblings and I to look up one Black person and write about them. Now, I don't know about my siblings, but I was mad. I didn't want to do it. I was like, why am I working during my break? But I did it, and I actually had a lot of fun doing it. In my eyes, it was the first thing that really introduced me to Black culture. But that's enough about that. Let's get back to Juneteenth. Previously, I said that Juneteenth is a benchmark for us, but it's also a reminder. It reminds us of the courage and pride we Black people should have. It reminds us that we don't need to code switch or cater to other people. Juneteenth isn't only a reminder, though. It's also a celebration. It's a celebration of our ancestors striving to be who they wanted to be in a nation that didn't want them to thrive. And it's also to celebrate ourselves for being here today and being able to unite in a setting such as this. My generation now has the opportunity to live where we want to live and be who we want to be. In the past, Black people working in major fields wasn't heard of. But now, I'm glad that I can be able to say that I can work in the medical field and become a neurosurgeon. In all, Juneteenth to me is a symbol of strength. It symbolizes the strength of our ancestors, what we went through, and the strength that we have now to push forward to do greater things. I hope everyone leaves here today proud of who they are and strive to be the best person in a world full of challenges and strife. Thank you.
Thank you, DONNÉ Ward. Our next group, the One Voice, One Sound Choir, affectionately known as One Voice, was founded in 1995 at Faithful Central Bible Church. Located in Inglewood, California, under the direction of Donald Taylor, founder and director of the award-winning LA Mass Choir. The captivating vocal stylings of One Voice were born and have graced many stages around the world throughout the years. From Nassau, Bahamas to London, England, from local church events to large community events, we're in awe. God was and will forever be truly glorified. The One Voice Choir has lent their remarkable voices to recording sessions, live performances, holiday productions, and even music videos of named artists. This dynamic choir consists of believers who serve the Lord with gladness and come before his presence when singing. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Faithful Central Bible Church One Voice Choir, directed by Donald Taylor.
The song that just said, I need you.
I need you.
You need me.
You need me.
We're all
a part of God's body.
Stand with me.
Agree with me.
Agree with me.
We're all a part of God's body. It is His will that every need be supplied.
You
are important to me. I need you
everyone to
survive.
You are important.
You are important to me. I need you to
So it's a very,
survive.
very simple song. Let us all join in and sing it together. And just simply say, I need you.
I need you.
You need me.
You need me.
We're all
a part of God's body.
Stand with me.
Stand with me.
Agree with me.
Agree with me.
We're all
a part of God's body.
It is His will.
It is His will that every need be supplied.
You are
important to me.
I need you to
survive. survive.
You
are important to
Say that
me.
one more time.
I need you to
It's very simple. One sound, one big choir. Say it with us again. I need you.
I need you.
You need me.
You need me.
We're
all a part of God's body.
Stand with me.
Stand with me.
Agree with me.
Agree with me.
We're all
a part of God's body.
It
is His will that every need be supplied.
You
are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive.
Now this is what I'll do for you. I pray.
I pray for you.
You pray for me.
You pray for me.
We are.
I love you. I need you to survive.
I won't
won't harm you
with
words from my mouth.
I need you.
I love you. I need you
Say it
to
again.
survive. I pray for you.
You pray for me.
You pray for me.
I love you.
I love you.
I
I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth.
I love you.
I love you. I need you to survive. I pray for you.
Let me hear you.
You pray for
I
me.
love you.
I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive.
Hey. Now, how many believe the best is still yet to come? So turn it up.
Turn it up.
Let's go. The best. Put your hands together. And you can stand up and run with us.
Turn it up.
Pump it up a little bit more. Hold on.
Hold on, my brother, don't give up.
Hold on, my sister.
Hold on, my sister, just look up. There is a master plan in store for you. If you just make it through,
God's gonna really
God's
blow your
gonna really blow your mind.
He's gonna make it
He's
worth
gonna
your time.
make it worth your time. For all of the trouble you've been through, the blessing double just for you.
Why?
The best
Come on, put your hands together. Come on.
is yet
To what?
to come. The best,
Yeah, I see ya.
the best is yet to come.
Hold on.
Hold on, my brother, don't give up.
Hold on, my sister.
Hold on, my sister, just look up.
Yeah.
There is a master plan in store for you.
Yeah.
If you just make it through,
God's gonna really blow your
God's gonna
mind.
really blow your mind.
He's gonna make
He's
it
gonna make
worth
it
your time.
worth your time.
All
For all
of the
of the
trouble
trouble you've been through,
The blessing double
just for you.
The best
The best
is yet
is yet
to come.
to
this was encouraging. You ain't.
You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Take it off.
You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing.
Coming to the
You
end.
ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Thank you, One Voice, Faithful Central Bible Church. And now, as we continue, Tim Jones, a 20-plus year Manhattan Beach resident and former LA County Fish and Game Commissioner. Civic engagements have included the Beach City Toy Drive, founder of LA County Family Camping 101, and most recently, distinguished speaker on the National Adaptation Forum on Climate Change in St. Paul, Minnesota. Now we will hear from the esteemed leader and voice of Mr. Tim Jones as he speaks on Unity Begins Here.
God is good. I come before you today and ask only that you listen to my words and that you leave with the desire to answer the question, what can I do? By a show of hands, how many agree that there are collective benefits when living in a unified community? Great. I guess my job is done. I'm out. It'd be fantastic if it was just that easy. Community. If we break it into two parts, it's a place where people come together in unity. Community. Our nation is under attack by the dreaded badisms: anti-Semitism, classism, racism, heterosexism, and sexism. These isms are triggers for divisive behavior and conflict. None of these should exist or be viable in our community. There is too much division, violence, and hate in our community, and too little trust and common ground. A common identity which unifies the country socially is an example of nationalism. Nationalism refers to a strong sense of belonging and loyalty to one's country, where individuals share common values, traditions, and culture. The shared identity helps to foster a sense of unity and pride in the nation, strengthening national cohesion. However, nationalism is a double-edged sword that can cut both ways. We must beware of nationalism in a bipolar society with competing and conflicting definitions and ideas of what our country is and should be. As an example, the first Naturalization Act of 1790 defined American identity and citizenship, declaring that only free white men of good character could become citizens, and denying citizenship to enslaved black people and anyone of non-European stock. Frederick Douglass's response to this ideology came on July 5th, 1852, during an Independence Day celebration. He says, "The rich inheritance of justice, liberty, prosperity, and independence bequeathed by your fathers is shared by you, not by me. You may rejoice I must mourn. On Juneteenth, we mourn for our ancestors suffering and those who are still ravaged by over 200 years of slavery. Those people are still inside of us. We take pride in their strength and celebrate our resilience. For we know that it is not how far you have come, but what you have overcome to get that far. The elapsed time, thank you. The elapsed time from the end of slavery, 1865, to the eminent domain seizure of the land on which we now stand, 1924, was only 59 years, fewer years than I've been alive. It's taken 100 years for us to share the common ground, but here we stand together. Nationalism is generally viewed as good or bad based on the ideology and the outcome. Shouldn't we instead seek common ground for solutions to drug addiction, suicide, gun control, and environmental destruction? Can we agree to leave the question of who you choose to love or what a woman does with her body up to the individual? Beware of local politicians pandering political partisanship in the guise of community spirit and goodwill. They appeal and may influence the uninformed, the misinformed, and the gullible. Beware of government media, and don't conflate the government administration with the population. Those who do are nationalist ideologues or just plain ignorant. Governments wage war. We the people wage peace. There are recent reports of unfriendly and friendly governments manipulating the media to influence our thoughts and actions. Reasons for enemies may be to disrupt and perhaps influence our societal mores. And friends may have over 36,000 reasons to assuage their actions, behavior, and guilt. The fact that these acts of deceit are effective is proof to the corollary that democracy can only survive in an informed and educated society. I leave you today with a goodism, optimism. Let's all leave with more than we came with. As I began, I ask you to ask yourself, what can I do to make these words ring true? One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Tim Jones. Now, please welcome to the stage Miss Tanya Taylor from Black in Mayberry. She will speak on what freedom means today.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tanya Taylor, and I am the founder and executive director of Black in Mayberry, a non-profit organization with the mission to combat racism through the arts. This year, Black in Mayberry partnered with the city of Manhattan Beach to organize a Juneteenth celebration in this city that would be culturally appropriate. I want to take a moment to thank each and every person whose name has not been mentioned, who went to city council meetings, who petitioned, who wrote emails, and who consistently pressured the city to ensure that we could stand here and have this celebration today. To all of the organizations, community members, community leaders, and residents who wanted to ensure that we would not have another Juneteenth in Manhattan Beach in silence. We thank you. What does freedom mean today? What does freedom mean to a people who were stolen? A people who were thrown into the belly of ships. A people who were lost at sea. A people who were worked to the bone for free. What does freedom mean to a people who had to fight to be recognized as human beings? A people who have marched for freedom. A people who have cried for freedom. A people who have even died for freedom. What does freedom mean today to a people who still face profound social injustice and inequalities, notably in the penal system, economic opportunity, healthcare, and education? Today, I am free enough to stand here in broad daylight under a clear blue sky, with the sun kissing my brown skin, sea breeze weaving through my nappy hair, and these words flowing hot off my thick lips. But even my freedom to speak had to be fought for. Today, I am free enough to stand in this park that commemorates the history of the Bruce's family, who had their freedom and rights violated when their land was stolen. But even the return of the land that they rightfully owned had to be fought for. Let us also remember that even all of you sitting here today, this right to be here was fought for. John Lewis said, "Freedom is not a state, it is an act. It is not some enchanted garden perched high on a distant plateau where we can finally sit down and rest. Freedom is a continuous action we all must take, and each generation must do its part to create an even more just society." Freedom for African American people is not a fairy tale. It is a battle cry. Our freedom demands relentless and unwavering action. It calls us to march, to unite, to petition, to vote with unyielding determination. That is why I say it is not enough to simply celebrate freedom on Juneteenth. You must ask yourself, whose freedom are we celebrating and why? What freedoms do they lack and why? Without having sought for yourself an answer to this question, it bids me to ask, are you here to be entertained? Does our singing please you? Do our eloquently crafted speeches touch you? Most importantly, will you act to safeguard what freedoms we have and fight for those we are not afforded? We must in unity continue the fight for true freedom, autonomy, equality, and injustice in order to have something to celebrate. The African American struggle for freedom is embedded in our culture. It is in our songs, our poetry, our dances. It is in the way we walk and the way we talk. It is even in our recipes. You cannot imitate the culture. You cannot buy the culture. You cannot manipulate the culture. Nor should our culture be used for political advantage or momentary gain. Our culture is the heartbeat It is the heartbeat of our resilience, the soul of our identity, and the unbreakable spirit of our fight for justice. Juneteenth is an invitation from the African American community to all to join us in the struggle for true freedom and to celebrate with us the victories along the way. Juneteenth is more than just a day. It is the meeting of the past and the future. A day for you to decide on the direction that America will take to right her past wrongs to a people who were once enslaved. Our history runs through our veins, and the comprehension of our history determines our path to true liberation, justice, and equality. It is a call to action, a reminder of our resilience and a beacon of hope for our future, where freedom is truly universal. Before I finish my speech, I would ask us all to bow our heads for a moment of silence.
Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I'd be a slave, I'd be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I'd be a slave, I'd be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free.
Take the minute of silence. Thank you. Let me end by saying that never before in my life have I understood these words more than I understand them today. I have often heard this expression when speaking of oppressed people, and this day I truly understand it. The first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first. I had hoped today that rather than hearing a long list of our history spoken by those who failed to recognize themselves as the oppressing group, I had hoped to hear instead actionable ways in which the city may safeguard the freedoms of African American people as we stand here today to celebrate with you our freedoms. I hope that we will take time to reflect on that and to improve on that, and that going forward in the future, we will come together in greater unity. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Tanya Taylor, and thank you, Miss Angel Hart. You have truly moved us today. And now we have the great privilege and honor to hear from the renowned poet, Isla Bryant-Wilkerson.
Good morning. Y'all can do better than that. Good morning. I'm so happy and thankful to be here as we celebrate Juneteenth. I tend to not write what someone would call the most uplifting kind of work. I always want my poems to sit with you for a few days, to stir something inside you, maybe even make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, because when we're uncomfortable, that's when we move, that's when we make change. And so I decided to write this piece on where we go from here. If we so free, why we keep having to fight for freedoms? How much it costs to really be free? Maybe 40 acres and a beach. Does freedom have a different meaning in America? Is emancipation only a concept, spoon-fed to us with a side of someday and in time? How much it really costs to be free? Maybe a child's life and a mother's will. Why it costs so much to be free? I've given my pride and my patience. Still they demand my dignity. To be liberated in America is to have freedom placed in front of you, told you it is yours for the taking, but you are only allowed to reach so far. To be free in America is to celebrate the freedom of slaves while corporations still profit from slave labor. Freedom in America is more a contradiction than a concept. Some dogma doled out to keep us in line, keep the revolutions at bay. Be the change you wish to see, but only in increments, only when the establishment allows, when the institutions can turn a profit. Protest, but you need a permit. This time it will be a parade. A martyr brings a speech to a gunfight, and they say no, not like that. A revolutionary brings a gun to a white supremacist meeting, and they say no, not like that. The students boycott, the unions strike, the women march, and they say no, not like that. Rights in America are given and taken at will, but this is the land of the free. Home of the heroes we forget to treat like humans after they fight in wars we never planned to win. How much will it cost me to be free without conditions? For my existence to not be a protest? Will it cost me my joy? What about my peace? How much it costs to be free? My generations have paid in blood, but today I will no longer pay you in my time. Thank you.
Thank you, Isla Bryant-Wilkerson. What an amazing and talented stage of presenters we have heard today. Please, warm round of applause for all of our presenters today. Special thank you and appreciation to all who have traveled here today, both near and far. to support today's wonderful ceremony and this national holiday. As many Juneteenth celebrations have occurred all week long throughout Southern California and around the nation, we thank you for being here. Please join us as the celebration continues this Saturday, June 22nd, for the Manhattan Beach Juneteenth celebration and concert at Pollywog Park, 1601 Manhattan Beach Boulevard, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We will continue with live music, delicious food, vendors, jazz musician Clayton Cameron, the students of Mira Costa High School with amazing presentations and games and presentations. And we hope to see you all there. Thank you and have a wonderful day.